It's a beautiful day in mid to late August. I think it's the 19th today. I'm not great at keeping track of the date. Anyways, I'm here along this beautiful little path that cuts through the bonsai garden. Look at this incredible leaning beauty. It's a limber pine and it's blue and it leans like crazy and it's actually pointing toward the path. Anyways, I don't want to digress on that. That's on my to-do list. I'm going to do a little operation here to try to get it to lean like this. I'm going to have to use some wire and maybe some rope. But that's not what we're here for. I'm here picking tea leaves. These two trees here, this smaller one that's right beside the path, and this much larger one that's right against the side of the deck, which is where the path leads to, up to that deck. I positioned that one especially so that as it gets bigger, because I'm pruning this one to keep it small, but I'm letting that one get big so that I'll be able to harvest the tea leaves from the deck. How convenient is that? These are Jersey tea. And I have a little method, if you will. There's a tiny method to my madness. And that is at this time of year, it's actually a little early for it, but not by that much. It's probably a week or two early. Most likely it would have been in September. But you see here, let me pick this leaf. See how it's turning yellow? Now this has been accelerated, I think, this year because we have a drought every summer, but it's been pretty bad this year. And so I think that these things are a little accelerated. But the good news is that every now and then there's some rain. Unfortunately, it's been a while. Yesterday I tried, but didn't work. But because of the occasional bit of rain, there's been new growth. Look at the beautiful growth here. That's a brand new leaf. Can you see how it's got almost like a bronzish kind of sheen to it when I move it around in the sunlight? Can you see that? That's new growth. It's interesting because the American chestnut does the same sort of thing with its new growth. That same kind of color. And so this is a bit of a treat for me to be able to pick these nice young leaves that are developing so late in the season. And I like to get them when they're really in great shape and they haven't been ravaged by the bugs too much. And the good thing about picking them this late in the season, even when they're new, look at the size of this leaf. For a tea leaf, that's really big. So I'm not going to spend the whole video standing here picking these beautiful leaves. I just wanted to show this to you. And there's no tea smell to these yet. But there's a reason for that. And that is that once they've been picked, they need to be dried. And this is actually the second time that I've harvested this year. And the first batch, I will show you, it's inside and I've got them spread out on the dining room table. I just bring them in and just leave them out to slowly dry inside the house. And it doesn't take long. Once they've dried out, there's this beautiful aroma, and then you'll know why it's called a Jersey tea. Beautiful aroma, beautiful flavor, makes great tea. So I very highly recommend this if you want to grow your own tea. There are many other wild teas that I make from different leaves here, but this is really good. And I want to thank my good friend Luke for giving me these two when they were very tiny. I didn't really think much of having Jersey tea because I do enjoy, as I said, making tea from wild trees. But the tea from these is really good. And it's so simple. Just pick the leaves, let them dry, and then either rip them up and throw them into some boiling water in a kettle or pot and let it boil for a while. Or once they're really dry, just throw it into a blender. But they've got to be crispy dry, which you want to have anyways. And then if you grind it up fine enough, it'll turn right into a powder, kind of like chaga, only this is from leaves. So I think we'll leave it at that. I don't want this video to be too long because I've got many other things to do, including something I want to show you right now as I just reach up here to show you. And this is what signaled me. This very leaf is what told me that it was time to pick. I saw it from in there at the dining room table, out the window, and it's like, oh, it's time to pick some more Jersey tea leaves. And so, look here at the very top here. Now that's a beautiful leaf. Boy, that's so big. That's a really big tea leaf. That's enough for a pot of tea right there. Once that's dry. Excellent. I want to show you one thing before I go. And that was while I was tending to some baby pawpaw trees this morning, I saw a couple of beautiful bluet mushrooms. Let's go and I'm going to show them to you because I'm going to pick them for supper.